Okay, it is now live streaming and when I um see where my chat box went, I will send you. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, did you get it?
Yes. All right. And we're on, right?
Yes, we are streaming to YouTube.
Okay. Enable Universe. Happy New Year to you. Uh, I'm coughing to you from Rochester, New York, and I am here with Sarah and Jonathan, and I'm about to share my screen, and we're going to look at current issues arising on the hub. Sharing is not turned on. Sarah?
What do you need?
You need to give me permission to share my screen.
Okay. Um, you should be able to share it, so just try again.
Now I can.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. Arthur Ilyasov says, I want more 3D printers. And I'm wondering if there are any funding or grant opportunities that can help me invest in a couple more printers. And the answer is, well, probably not. Um, we don't fund individual things of that sort. We don't fund individual things of that sort. And I'm guessing, however, there may be some used printers available for free. I would check with Ian Roy to see if he has any 3D printers he wants to retire. I wonder if we know where Arthur Ilyasov is located. About. And the answer is he's in the United States. Okay, so that would be my answer to that. Um, the other thing I would say is that if he has a project that he would use these printers for, that might be something that could include the purchase of a printer if it was appropriate, a submission to the e-NABLE fund. Sarah, you understand the point I'm making well enough to write a note to him?
Sure.
Okay. Um, as an explicit answer to his question, I don't know of any funding agencies or grants that would support this. The local Rotary Club might possibly, if, and this is all speculative, if he had a particular recipient in mind. And for that matter, if he has a particular recipient in mind, we'd be happy to hear about it and see what comes of that. So those are my points. Moving to Joe and the kinetic arm. Is this available, the device available? Oh, free 3D pans cannot provide a ready device at this moment. And that's right. So let's look a little bit further at what people have said. This person's recommending Web Central, but I would say actually you're just as good asking here if someone wants to take it on. But the question will be, um, is there a recipient in mind? This person says, are you directly involved with ETF? I don't know what ETF is. Do you?
I do not.
Um, okay, so my comment would be that that the hub is a good place to ask, but I don't know anyone who is likely to take on printing a device unless there's an identified recipient for the device, and then I suspect people might do it. The other thing I would say is that while the files are available from Free 3D Hands, the files are available. Um, the only direct report I've seen of someone making one of these devices was from e-NABLE Poland, which posted on it just recently. And as you would expect, it's quite a beautiful hand, but it's a very challenging device to build. And those are my only comments. Jonathan or Sarah, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't have enough.
Okay. Then what is this link? Ah, here is a series of device evaluations. So that's a great little, please fill out this form, and there's a form for evaluating devices. Who knew? Probably everybody, and then they all forgot, like me. So let's just see what this form looks like. And let's note that my computer battery is complaining. Give me a second here. Here's a spreadsheet. The link to the form has not worked yet. Here we go. Redirecting you very slowly. Device feedback form. And I just wonder when the last entry for this was made. I lost the file. Okay, well, let's be aware that there is a spreadsheet which collects reviews of the devices, but it's not a direct answer to Joe's question, and we've dealt with Joe's question. So we move on. Nice to have you here, Deara. I'm missing a 1-inch Velcro strap. So let's just send a note to Jeremy saying, Jeremy, sounds like documentation or kit need update. The end. Okay. Deborah, 3D socket. Sorry, I skipped one. Let's go to Douglas. Hello, Doug Higgins. 10 years of printing experience, teaching, learning, and research. He's started a GoFundMe page, and he would like us to share it. Well, let's just see what he's trying to fund, shall we? Bringing prosthetics to New York. Upstate New York. I'm in upstate New York. Upstate New York has few volunteers. I want help purchasing a bamboo lab. I'll pay for my filament. Okay, well, we have done what he asked. And that's a nice picture, by the way, of devices those might be Quawus, but I'm not sure. Jonathan, no, they're not the Quawu either. I'm curious about that. For all we know, it's AI generated. Okay, so Doug, we have indeed shared it. And I want to know, where in upstate New York are you? I'm in Rochester. Furthermore, there used to be a 3 or 4 e-NABLE chapters near Rensselaer. Okay. And I'll also, we featured this in our town hall meeting today. Okay, Doug, that's what you get. Good luck. And Doug, I would welcome an email from you to know a little bit more about you and where you are here with me in upstate New York. Okay, back to Deborah Plyman. I want a 3D socket built for attaching my current passive hand and cosmetic glove. And Jack, who is the creator of the Quawu, has stepped up. And thank you so much, Jack. It's so great that you're still involved. There is now a Quawu 3, I learned yesterday. And Jack is a real professional. And Deborah, you couldn't be in better hands. So I'm moving on. And Joao, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Joao. Back at you. You're graduating mechanical engineering and interested in bionic and mechanical prosthetics. You want to do science in your city. You found 3D printed prosthetics and you'd like tips. All right. And Henk de Vlam recommends Onshape, which is indeed the best sophisticated um, free design software. And Sarah says welcome. And I say welcome too. And Happy New Year. And that's all I have to offer. Cool. Okay. Sarah, do you have any other topics in the queue? I do have another topic to bring up.
What is it?
Okay. Um, I had quite a good conversation with Rion and Quan and one other kid whose name I don't remember, but might be Liam, all from the Pacific Northwest and First Robotics, who have been working with, you know, a better man would have his notes and would be clear about that, with Peter Odama of World Access Fund, I think it's called
In
WAF,
Uganda?
in Uganda. And it was a very illuminating conversation, which I am pulling up on my screen right now. And, you know, one of our questions was, how real is this opportunity? And I'm now convinced that it's very real. I'm going to give you, Sarah, this link. Click. And ask you also to share it. Well, I'm going to share it maybe with Madison, but in any case, here are the points. I met Jonathan. I looked at his website. He has been working with Quan. He had been working with the L9 arm, which I have heard of. It's a non-anthropomorphic mechanical device. People don't like it, probably because it looks quite bizarre. And he has seen a kinetic hand, and everyone says that would be great. But he, God bless him, Peter, says, I've noticed you don't get much of a grip with the kinetic hand. Um, I suggested to Kwan, who was the mentor of a number of FIRST robotics groups, that improving the grip strength of the kinetic hand or producing a clone of the gripper hand, which uses the shape of the kinetic, but the ultra simple two-piece design of the gripper, might be the right solution for a place like Uganda. But it was also clear that Peter Adama's organization really is well connected with hospitals. They are good critical consumers of these prosthetics. They do have a list of real people, and he shared a bunch of videos suggesting that they have been serving the community quite effectively for quite some time, and that Kwan and his FIRST robotics teams could become a really interesting value chain for figuring out what is the right device for the Ugandan service called WAF, how to deliver them, and then work with tracking the recipients. Kwan is going to be the lead on this. And Peter has been quite responsive as I ask questions about what devices were you using and so on. So they are currently seeking, they say, $29,000 to address all of those 370 recipients. But by the time the conversation is done and we talk through all of these interesting issues, which, Sarah, I would urge you to review, um, we did agree that we were going to develop a list of resources and players, that Rian was going to share documentation and photos of the kinetic hand recipient in Uganda, which I haven't seen yet, that the North California team is going to work with the kinetic and see what they think. They're going to explore grip strength. I did suggest that they also look at researching other devices, and I believe they will. They're going to develop a more detailed proposal, but, and it's not said here, we're going to sort of try to identify a first pilot of maybe 10 devices, not aiming to do all 400, for a modest grant to see if we can get this potentially very powerful team coordinated in a good way. What impressed me was that Kwan, whose day job is as a heart surgery intervention specialist, is a sophisticated and experienced coach of these first robotic young geniuses who ought to be able to handle the technology quite well. Peter is an experienced and critical aid provider and consumer of these devices. And he's got a backlist of 370 people who would benefit from this kind of thing. So it's actually quite a promising situation. I'll add that WAF also does eco restoration work in and around Uganda, and I'm currently trying to develop projects of that sort also. So that's arguably another reason why I'm particularly interested in advancing this thing. But they were very impressive just based on um, their 3D printing and technology and ambitions. So that conversation will continue. Sarah, I'll be asking your help, and ultimately, I'm sure Jonathan's in helping to coordinate it. But right now, that's the update. And I'm now here to say that I am a true believer, although I am trying to shape them on an incremental learning on-ramp instead of saying we want $30,000, we're going to do the impossible. And I think they agree with that approach. So that's my report. Any questions or comments?
No, but I will watch it and then get back to you.
Cool, cool. What else might we talk about? Uh, let's just review where we're at on infrastructure, if you don't mind. The occasional query comes along, and Jonathan, I think I forwarded you one in the last week or so from someone who says, I've submitted my chapter application and I haven't heard anything. Are we confident that we don't have people just sitting around waiting?
Yeah, I think there's a mix up with that one with what information was provided and what the intent was. But
Mhm.
yes, we got that one figured out. I don't know of anybody that has been left hanging per se.
Terrific. Um, all right. Sarah, you are developing or sitting on some proposals. I've sort of forgotten the details of what they are. We don't have to go through the details, but just remind us what they are and what the status is.
Yeah, so I am sitting on a proposal for a press kit. Um, and I think it's ready to go into Lumio, and I'd like to open it up not yet to voting, but to feedback from the community. Um, and um, I um, yeah, so I don't know if you have a moment to sort of tell me how to upload it to Lumio, because I have not been able to
You haven't cracked
do
the
that.
code.
Yeah.
Jonathan, are you Lumio proficient?
I've been in it. I haven't done a lot with it, but
All right. Well, Sarah, is this thing really ready to go? That
Yes.
is, we could do it right now and show everyone and remind ourselves what's involved.
Okay. Um,
Okay, so I'm going to Lumio. They now have a dashboard. I guess I want to share my screen, warts and all, as I remember how this works or cope with the updates. Let's close other windows. Okay, so first we go to e-NABLE. It explains that a good proposal will have all of these features, and yours does at this point. To submit a proposal, go to the main page. I think that's where we are, and click, maybe it isn't, click new thread, copy and paste the template, which we'll do. And the rules are that there will be a discussion period of a week before voting starts. And the vote will last for 10 days. And the last 48 hours, there should be no changes, but along the way, changes are quite welcome. And that's the point of the discussion and voting period, so that people can say things like, I would vote for this if you change this factor. And the proposer will often say, sure, I can change that, and I'm glad to have your vote. And then the thing passes. That's the kind of negotiation that's designed to bring us to a passing vote, which means we got at least 20 votes with at least 80% of the total votes in support of the project. If 10% or more actually disagree rather than abstain, then we have general discussion. But if it has at least 90% support, but doesn't have the 20, we can extend the vote in order to allow other people to either push it over the edge or shoot it down. If someone feels so strongly that they wish to block things, they can do that. And then their job is to attend the town hall meeting and we really talk it through. But if the blocking vote doesn't show, or if the attendees at the town hall meeting decide that they should go forward anyway, they can do it. These are, a bunch of provisions that have evolved over the last 10 years, and so far they have, they seem adequate. We have not yet found a case that we can't handle within these rules, which have been revised in order to accommodate cases that we couldn't handle. And so here we go. So our job now is to go to the main e-NABLE page on Lumio to, I assume I am logged in. I know I am. To look for a new thread. So that did just take us back. Click. Okay, so here we are. This up. Now we're talking. We scroll down. Here are threads. Here is new thread. And Sarah, I imagine you have a document to share with me.
Yeah.
Which is already formatted the right way, yes?
Well, what is the right way to format it? What does that mean?
Well, let's see. Do we have a template in the gallery? Oh, those are their templates. No. So the format is described here. It should have a clear, it's
Yes, it
this.
has all of that information.
Okay, so give me a link to that document. Oh, wait, here are the sections. Have you followed this outline? Sarah?
Yeah, I'm reading the.
Oh, okay, okay.
The only thing it doesn't name the graphic designer, but I can go back and add her
Okay, and
name to
it
it.
is editable, so let's just go through the process.
Okay.
So we're asking for markdown and let's just see what happens. So here we go, new thread, Bing. Start a new thread, blank template, Bing. Group e-NABLE, title. What's your title, Sarah?
Can you just send me a link to see that I even have access to upload this? Because
Well, you don't have to upload it. We're going to just paste it into this field here.
I mean,
So,
I would love to be able to do that though. So is
all
there a
right.
reason why I shouldn't
Well, so
do
you
that
share your
myself?
screen and let's see if there's anything preventing you from doing what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, okay, I don't want to share my screen. I, we can go through it, but like if I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, so look, Sarah, all I did was scroll down here
Okay,
from the main page. Here's a link to
I
the page.
I can't see.
Oh, okay. Into the chat, I have put
Okay,
a link. If you scroll down, you see a description, an outline that you're meant to follow, and you're told to click the new thread button, which is on the screen and which you'll see in the recording of this meeting. If you click the new thread button, you are asked to start a new thread with a blank template. And then you're asked to fill in the title, the tags, the context, and there's an editor that you can use to lay it out so it looks sort of like.
I mean, but this is really like there's a lot of text on this page, and I don't see any new thread button. Like when
Have you scrolled to the
it
bottom?
says to submit a project proposal, go to the main e-NABLE page on Lumio, which I clicked on multiple times, and then it says click the new thread button, but there is no like I don't see a new thread button. Where
Do
is
you
the
see
new
the
thread
word?
button?
Well, um,
I
are
see
you
project,
logged in to Lumio?
um. Okay, yeah,
Okay. And you're not able to share your screen, which makes problem solving difficult. Do you see the project proposal template section?
hold on. Project proposal template, yeah,
Okay. Do you see underneath that on the right side, there's a settings button and it says enablio@lumio.com?
um.
Under a brief overview section. What follows a brief overview of my background with Enable?
Um, threads, decisions,
Ah, okay. Under to the right of that row, the last word is subgroups.
yeah,
Is there a blue new thread button directly under subgroups?
no, not for me.
And have you clicked on threads?
Yep,
So that's a curiosity. Let's look at members and see if we
So I
can tell
think,
the difference.
sorry, pardon to bust in.
Yeah,
I believe Jeremy made me an admin on here so I could make some documentation on it. Sarah, if you can see my screen, this is where that button is. We might need to
yeah,
make you an admin to be able to do that.
I do
yeah,
not
she
have
says
that
she doesn't
button.
have that button. And
I do
yet
not have,
she won't. Can you
I
give
did,
us a
I did,
screenshot of what you have?
it's just like the plain row without the blue button underneath subgroups. It's just, there's just no blue button.
And
It's not
yet,
that it's there and I'm
Sarah,
somehow not seeing it. It's just
I
not
hear
there.
you. And yet Sarah is an admin. All right, offline, Sarah, you and I are going to do a screen share when you're prepared to do a screen share, and we'll either solve the problem or you'll give me the document to paste in.
Okay. No, I mean, I can send you the document. I just think it would be better if I
Well,
could
yeah, but
do
I
it.
can't solve your problem if I can't see your screen.
Okay, well then we can do that offline.
Okay, all right. Um, okay, so that is a proposal for the PR kit, and it's ready to go, and we'll do it. Were you also working on a different proposal?
What did you have in mind?
No, I don't. I just have a vague memory, so if,
No, it was
never
just a
mind.
press kit.
Okay. Um, and then there's Madison's work. Where are we on Madison and her activities as outreach coordinator?
I think we all have a meeting with her coming up
Great,
the week after next.
great. Um, Jonathan, if you're interested in being part of that meeting, please say so and we'll make sure you're invited.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be.
Okay, Sarah, will you make sure he's invited?
Yes.
And I noticed that Melvin, Melvin and Mariella didn't come to this meeting. They may well have forgotten with the holidays that the meeting was on. Um, so Sarah and yet I think they're due to have some good input. So I am now pledging to send them a Happy New Year message and say, love to hear your thoughts about working more deeply with Enable going forward. And we'll probably also ensure that they come to the next meeting of this distinguished town hall gathering, which is when? In 2 weeks? On the
Yes.
17th? No.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not on, yes, it is on my calendar. Excellent. So I'm gonna actually see if I can't invite them directly. And I can. Melvin and Mariella. Save for this event and following events, because why not? And there we go. Is there anything else we would like to cover during this town hall meeting?
I don't have anything, but if you wanted to um make another Zoom so that I can upload my proposal,
Okay.
I'm free to do that now.
Right, so why don't we end this meeting now, and I'm gonna send you, I'm gonna give you right here a link to our next meeting, Sarah,
Okay.
and we'll just see what we can do to get past this impasse. So I am gonna create a little meeting here. Except having a little technical problem. Click. Sarah John. Add video conferencing. Copy link. Save. Paste. And this concludes the first town hall meeting of 2025. And I'm going to see Sarah, and if he wants to watch us solve the problem, Jonathan, at the Zoom link in the chat. Okay?
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.